Hey, I'm Jason.
And I'm Jam.
Welcome back to Podcast for Your Life. We're still here.
The podcast that remotely shares thoughts from our remote lives to your remote life.
Yeah, it's the podcast where we share thoughts from our closets to yours. Because that's where we are both right now, is we're both basically in closets recording.
Yep. In separate closets.
Well, we were kind of thirsty when we thought of an episode topic. So What are we talking about today, Jam?
We're talking about new milks. They've been coming out with some new milks. The U.S. government has been. And really exciting stuff coming out of the government these days.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's really, trillions of things are coming out of the government these days.
If our jokes a second ago weren't obvious enough, we're doing a video call and recording separately. And so if you hear any weird lags or something kind of messes up, that's why. But we're trying our best to make sure everything sounds as much the same as possible. So thanks for bearing with us on that. And we just want to, still be able to record even if there's going to be some hitches there. So audio quality might be less bad. Hopefully not.
Yep. And new milks. I really appreciate what the milk industry is trying to come up with these days. But I guess we should probably define what a new milk is.
Yeah. So I thought the idea of calling them new milks would be funny, but basically alternative milk. So we've
non-dairy.
Yeah, non-dairy. We did Milks for Your Life many moons ago. I can't remember the number. And we talked about specifically dairy milk, and we kind of made some funny definitions about what is and is not a milk. We only touched briefly on non-dairy milks. And so I thought it'd be funny to talk specifically about non-dairy milks on purpose and not the other ones, not dairy milk. And instead of calling it like alternative milk or something, calling it new milk.
I think it's a better branding than non-dairy milk or whatever. It's just like, hey, yeah, we're part of the new milk family. It's like as if there was this general conspiracy of like people getting together and be like, oh, we can't let the dairy farmers, have all the profit in this country. We got to think of something else.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what do you have? What ideas do you have? I don't know. We could maybe use rice. That's how it all started. Regular milk or dairy milks comes from an animal. So goats, cows, sheep, whatever, camels.
Yes, chickens.
Yaks. Chickens. Yikes. And the new milks come from plants, basically. They're all some form of a plant of some sort. So you're talking about rice milk, oat, almond, cashew, coconut, soy. Those are kind of the ones that I thought of. I don't know if there's other ones out there.
I think there's one made out of peas. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I've heard of pea protein, but I don't know if that's the same thing as pea milk.
Maybe it's more like that's rough right there. That's a rough branding problem they've got.
Hemp?
Pea milk. Hemp. Yeah, it's hemp.
Is hemp milk? Okay, hemp milk.
I think there is one.
I'm definitely not going to buy pea milk. Actually, I really hate pea protein. I think the flavor is terrible.
I've never had it. I guess I actually have. It's in Huel. Right?
Yeah, it's in Huel.
Yeah.
But it's not as dominant. If you have a pea protein by itself, it's worse.
And the whole point that these milks exist, right, is because some people either don't like or cannot have dairy milk. That's kind of where the whole deal started, I think.
Or they're vegan. Yeah. So that was, like I grew up with all of the non-dairy milks. I think partially because there was a little bit of intolerance, either for me, siblings, parents, not really sure, but we grew up not having regular milk. We could have ice cream, like an occasional ice cream treat, but it was mostly rice milk, occasional soy, but mostly rice milk. I grew up with mostly rice milk and almond milk. And so those were just like normal, like, hey, this was milk in our family. And so we had lots of interesting experiences with the new milks.
Yeah. I had dairy milk all growing up, and only super recently have explored some of these new milks we've got. And I've tried a few of them, and the only one I've found to be pretty tasty and like I could see myself converting over to if I needed to is oat milk. It's like so nice. One of the biggest reasons I was looking for one at all is because if we have milk regularly for coffee, I'll make a latte for my wife or something like that. And so Oat milk is one of the best for coffee-related stuff because it froths really well. I like the taste. I like oatmeal, and it has like just a slight oatiness to it, but in general, it's not super strong. And some of the other new milks have a taste that I don't like as much. So I feel like oat milk is pretty cool. So that's what made me think of this. And we don't have to tell you guys that there's a lot of people who have feelings about whether these new milks should be able to carry the milk name at all. I've encountered some people who are like super opinionated about it not being allowed to be called milk. And as you guys know, I have my own really strong opinions, or if I don't, I can find them about anything. And so when I realized that there was a really strong feeling about it, which I would not have thought about at first at all, I was like, I'm pretty sure I could find some good opinions to the opposite. And I have.
There you go. Oh man, we can get into the names in a second, but I do want to point out that oat milk is incredibly easy to make, homemade. Mm-hmm. So, and it's also cheap. So like you can get a huge thing of rolled oats for like 99 cents at the grocery store, compared to like almonds, cashews. Those are pretty expensive, and soy isn't necessarily readily available to most folks. Rice, probably. I've never heard of homemade rice milk, but I'm sure it's available as well. But like oat milk is very cheap. It just involves a little bit of water. So if you guys want to experiment, you could definitely check out some recipes online. We've also made homemade almond milk, and it is better than the stuff you get at the store. It's more almondy, but it was very expensive because just all the almonds are expensive. And I wonder if almonds are expensive because they're so heavily used in almond milk. I wonder if they've like raised the price.
I don't know.
But that's kind of what it feels like sometimes. Where it's like, man, almonds are so expensive. So that's why I don't.
Yeah, I feel like any nut that isn't a ground nut, isn't a peanut, is expensive-ish, relatively.
It's true.
Like anything that's not just a standard peanut, to me, seems like it's more expensive. Like, I really like pistachios, and they're not cheap to get. So, but I like them a lot.
Yeah.
I like them so much better than peanuts, so I'm willing to pay sometimes. But it's like, it's just not all the time. So I don't know. Do you want to hear some of my counter arguments?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, could you tell first what would be some good other words for milk? What other ideas did you come up with when having these conversations with people?
So instead of putting milk on the labeling, what we should put instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
What were your options?
Well, new milk is the funniest one, even though it includes milk. But I was like, would you guys be okay with like milk alternative? And they're like, yeah, I'd be okay with that. But still, it seemed like they just didn't want the word milk near there. Which I do not understand that idea at all.
What about like Malk, M-A-L-K, and the A stands for alternative?
Well, Malk is also, believe it or not, a brand of a type of new milk, which is, I think that's one of the ones that uses pea protein. Yeah, M-A-L-K. Yep.
Oh, I thought that was just like a bad pronunciation of the word milk.
It is. I think that's probably what they're doing. They're like, oh, people will like this. Malk.
They beat us to the punch.
You can buy Malk right now.
Okay.
It's cool. Kind of everywhere. It's weird.
This show is not sponsored anyway by Malk or Molk or Malk or Milk.
Milk. That'd be a funny one. I didn't buy Malk specifically because I hate like those weird pronunciations of it. So I was like, sorry, it's funny, but sorry, I can't buy this.
They could call it clam. They could just have it Malk backwards. Like, oh, can you pass me some of that oat clam?
Clim? All right, wouldn't it be Clim?
Or clam, either one.
Gosh.
Depends on how far you want to take it.
Sounds very unappetizing. Sounds like you just like got some clams, got some juice out of them, and made milk out of it. It's just like, ugh.
I think you can juice an oyster or a clam, right?
Yeah, like that's disgusting. So here's one of my biggest beefs. Ready? How many types of butter are there?
One?
Nope. Think about it. There's like shea butter, cocoa butter.
Oh, okay. That's true.
Okay. And then how many kinds of cream are there?
Cream?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gotcha. Because so like, yeah, there's a ton of different types of cream. If you're talking about not just food cream, but like the physical form of something that's called cream
or called butter. And cocoa butter is edible, and it's from a plant, from the cacao.
Shea probably is too.
Yeah. So a lot of those are, the other ones are plant based, but then there's like, we have plenty of butters that like, think about, I don't know, peanut butter. popular butter.
Oh.
People like peanut butter these days. It's a new thing people like to eat or whatever.
It's the new butter.
Yeah, one of the newest butters there is. But just think about how we've been fine with the word butter used for other things. We've been fine with the word cream used for other things. And originally those were specific to dairy products. We weren't using butter for other things at all. Like, I don't know the etymology of the words, but I'm sure that because we were doing livestock for such a long time as a civilization, I'm sure that the first butter and the first cream were from, cows or goats or some mammal.
Sure.
And then now we're fine using those words for other things. So I'm like, no one's confused. No one's trying to like trick you into thinking this is from a cow. They're just using the word milk because it has the same like form factor, just like butters and creams do. So that's
a good argument.
That's what hit me like a bolt of lightning the other day. Bolt of thunder? Bolt of lightning?
It hit you like a face full of milk. Mm-hmm. Maybe they could call all these new non-dairy alternative options, I can't believe it's not milk. Or
like
they could go,
yeah, can't believe it's not milk. Or what if it was like just adding a letter like Shmilk?
Yeah, that's right.
We've made a few like fake recipes at our house. By fake, I mean like, how there'd be like diet versions of stuff. It'll be like how to make a, like paleo pizza or something like that. And anytime we've made those, our roommates, we've coined them as adding like, you add an SH at the beginning. So kind of like how people would be like business schmizness. So we'll call it like we have a paleo or whatever it was pizza. That was like a skinny recipe. And so we started calling it schmitza. So
you added SHM.
Oh yeah.
too.
Yeah, we did actually. Yeah. So in this case, it would be Shmilk because it's already an M.
Yeah.
Or like,
exactly.
Or like, I think it's a thing people have done just to add the SH deal. So we could call it Shmilk if you guys want. It's fine with me.
But then which one? Shmilk would just be like rice, Shmilk, oat, Shmilk.
Yeah.
That's a tongue twister.
It really is.
I would like not buy that from the store just because I'm exhausted trying to pronounce it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So growing up, I like I mentioned earlier, we were big proponents of rice milk, and so we would have these like non-dairy ice creams as well, because non-dairy milk leads to non-dairy ice cream, obviously, for the people who are like, I want ice cream, but I can't have dairy, And so I just remember having friends growing up, and they would come over to our house, and I'd be like, hey, do you want to try some of this rice stream? Wait, do you say ice cream? No, rice stream. What's rice stream? I'd be like, oh, it's like ice cream, but it's non-dairy. And so they would always be like really weirded out. The stuff is good. Like there's one particular dessert called by Rice Dream, I think. So it's like a rice milk ice cream where it's basically like a Klondike bar, but underneath the chocolatey coating is like an oatmeal cookie. And it's amazing. It's like it doesn't even need to be real ice cream for it to be delicious.
Yeah.
It's so seriously so good.
That sounds great.
A lot of the other ones were a little bit sketch. I'm not gonna lie. Like they just cows. They've got a little bit of a one up on the ice cream market. They really do. So, but it was funny to like have friends come over and experience their not necessarily curiosity, but maybe distaste. For like, oh, rice milk. So then, obviously some folks would make fun of us and stuff.
Yeah.
But
let me call my mom real quick. I think I need to go home.
That's exactly what happened. Yep. So, yep.
Have you had banana ice cream? Like ice cream made out of bananas?
Yeah. Yes, we have.
That's like,
and it doesn't have any milk at all. Yeah. It's just bananas.
It's genius.
Delicious.
If you like bananas, it's perfect.
It is. Bananas really should get in on the milk market. I think that they would excel.
Holy, that's a great idea.
New milks. Things are getting a little nutty around here. You know what they say about new milks? Out with the old and in with the new.
New milk. You wouldn't want to be caught dead drinking some of that old milk. Where'd you get that old milk? From a cow? What year is it? 800? I don't know. Oh, I didn't realize you were a hunter-gatherer. Oh, I'm sorry. Over here we drink new milk.
I think we already used the milk pun last time about milking this episode for all that it could be. So we'll just say thanks for listening and farewell.
Bye, guys. Stay safe.